Hey guys, so today I'm here to do a really exciting video, and that is going to be a book review and a movie review of Ready Player One. I haven't done a movie review on my channel like at all. Like I have done a trailer reaction but not actually a movie review, and I am like beyond excited to watch this movie and talk about the book. And the plan is that I'm seeing the movie tonight, so I'm going to film the book review now while I'm in the light, and then when I come back and I have all my thoughts, I will film for you later tonight and then put it all together and make this video and just have a lot of fun with it. Also, this video is not going to have any spoilers in it because we don't want to spoil what's happening with this book, and it's a good way that you can watch all the way through to see my other opinions. So there's not going to be any spoilers, so don't worry about that. So I finished this book only 2 days ago, and I cut it really fine trying to finish this book before the movie came out, because I'm always like this when I know a movie's coming out of a book and I'm like, I got time, and then it's like 2 days beforehand and I'm like, I gotta read that book and get it done, oh my god. It actually made it really interesting having to try and read this book as quickly as I could and be able to watch it right before the movie comes out, so it's going to be fresh in my mind for tonight. So just going to tell you from the start here, I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars because I found it kind of boring and really repetitive, and so much hype is surrounding this book, like so much, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, and I'm here like, oh my god, I'm so keen. And I read it and the hype got to me so much, and it was a very average read for me. Like, I had a lot of fun with it, but it was very average. And I think one of the issues may be that I don't like video games, and you're probably thinking, oh my god, Abby, why would you read the book if you don't like video games? Well, it doesn't matter if you don't like something to actually read a book about it. Like, there's so many books that I've read about things that I don't like, and I ended up loving those books. But the thing is, there's so much video game referencing and so much of that stuff. Like, and I did like the 80s referencing of the movies and the songs and the games and all that. Like, it was really nostalgic of that era, even though I was not grown up in that area. I would understand it for readers who did grow up in that area, that they would really love this, but there was a lot of video game stuff and the descriptions of it got a bit too dense for me, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, what's happening? I did find there was a lot of repetition when they'd always make the same references and every character would then talk about it all over again, and then the video games were a lot of referencing and a lot of stuff that just seemed to keep re-happening, and it just got a bit boring for me that I had to keep pushing myself to continue on with this book. And that's the only thing I had, is the issue with just the pacing and the actual wording of everything. So the writing was my favorite thing, but I really did love the story and the characters, and it made it a lot of fun reading this book, and I was so scared for them, and it was so high stakes in life and death, and I just wanted them to perceive and get through everything, and it was very scary read, and it was good. Like, it was a good story. It's just I did have some issues with it. One thing I really did like about this story too is it's set in the year like 2045 or 2145 or something like that, and this is scary because this could happen to the world, like having everyone use so much energy and poverty and just people being horrible, that the world just went to shit, and then they had to start living in camper vans that are stacked on top of each other, and then the only way to get out of this horrible life is to go into this virtual reality called the Oasis. Like, it felt so real in that sense to me, and it just was like, my god. But I did love the idea of having virtual reality, and it was really good in a book form and probably for the movie as well, that anything can happen. Like, you can literally have anything happen, and I'm excited to see if they do some of the same stuff that happens in the book, because the things that happen in the book with the Easter egg hunt and finding out the clues and all that, I really liked the things that the characters had to go through to keep going on with their journey, and I hope that they do that in the movie. Or are they going to make their own things because it might have been easier to film because it was a bit too out there what happened in the book? Like, I don't know. I've actually heard some people say that it's not even like the book at all, it's just got the basics of the story and the characters but nothing else, so we'll have to see how I feel about the movie. But Steven Spielberg is the one that directed it, and he has got a lot of good movies, so fingers crossed that it's going to be good. With the characters, I really did like Wade. He was a funny character and definitely like a very snarky person, and having him so confident in the game but not so confident in the outside world was a really good contrast and made his character even better. And he's such a geek, and he spent the last 5 years just watching movies, playing video games, reading books, and I wish I could do that in my life, and that's pretty much what I do in my life, but not as obsessed with him. And I love that Artemis is so obsessed and H is so obsessed, and they're all so good at just finding these clues because they have nothing better to do with their lives except focus on this hunt for the Easter egg. It's just so great how they do come together and they all talk about all the clues and everything. And the thing I love too is in the Oasis, like, it's because it's virtual reality, they don't look human. Like, they do, but it's got that video game aspect to it, and they don't look anything like their avatars in real life. And it's interesting seeing how some of the people react to some of the reveals of what they actually look like as humans in the real world, and how some people can look similar, some people can be totally different. Like, that's what's great about the Oasis, is you can be whatever you you want to be, if you don't like the way you look in real life, if you just spend your whole life in the oasis, that's really good for people because they don't have to cover up anything that they hate about themselves and they can just be who they want. That's not the best lesson, but it works for the people in the circumstances that they are in. But I do like that they all have really interesting names as well, and just, oh my god, it was so good. And I just love just how big this world is, and just having all these characters, and they have superpowers, and they can get leveled up, and they get money, and they can use the money that they win from the oasis to buy stuff in real life. Like, it just, there is so much happening in this world, and it did get a bit crazy with the world building, but overall, this book was really interesting and really fun. And I did own this book for the longest time and I didn't read it, but then watching the trailer for Ready Player One, I was pretty interested. And the guy that plays Cyclops in the new X-Men movies is actually playing Wade, so that's going to be interesting because he was in a superhero movie. Now he's in the virtual reality movie. Like, if there's an X-Men reference, I think that'd be really, really fun. Yes, I do recommend people check out this book to have their own opinions, like, just because I didn't necessarily like everything about it. Like, I'm pretty average with my feelings for it, so I'm going to say that I did like it and I didn't hate it. It's just, you know, average. But definitely want to check out because it's got over 500,000 ratings on Goodreads, so it's definitely a beloved book. Definitely beloved. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go away now and I will see you guys later after I've seen the film. So guys, I've just come back from Ready Player One, and what was that film? Like, what was that movie? Oh, I'm so mad. Did I go into the wrong cinema with this? Because that was not the book that I read. Not even close. Like, the character names were right, a few key details were right, but everything else was different. What the hell? Like, as a movie, if I never read the book, it was a really good movie. It had a lot of action, it was funny, I loved the references, it was good. But being based off a book, and with Ernest Cline actually being a co-producer, he could have at least gotten it right. Shining in the book, there was no ice palaces in the book, there was no weird video montages that people could go and watch people in. Like, what in the hell was that? Like, the challenges that were already in the book could have been incorporated into the movie. Like, none of these things were in it. They didn't even have Tempest in this. Like, I am very upset by this. And, like, having Org's character pretty much erased, I don't get it. Like, there was a few things that I really liked that they did put in there, and I can't go into detail about them because there'd be spoilers, but there's things that I liked that were in detail. But another thing too is, right, so with all the characters, they are in this virtual reality and they've never met each other, and in the book it's a lot later on that everyone meets. It's practically like the first 10 minutes of the film. It felt like that everyone was like, oh hi, what's up, let's meet, and like the insta love was strong. In the book it was definitely insta love, but it wasn't as bad in the book and wasn't such a big part. But in the movie, 10 seconds later, he's just like, I'm in love with you, and I'm just like, cringe. Oh my god, so mad. They literally changed everything, and they also had something happen to one of the characters that didn't happen in the book, and it happened to a different character, and it made more sense for the way the actual story progressed because this character did something in this certain circumstance that I can't talk about without spoiling it. But that didn't happen, and it just got weird, and there was extra characters in it that didn't make sense, and like, you know, there's something really bad happened in the book that didn't happen in the movie as well. So like, what in the hell? But I will say that I really liked all the actors and actresses that portrayed the characters, and I think their avatars looked how I thought they would. I really liked the person that played Artemis, but I don't actually know what the actress's name is, but I don't think I've seen her in anything. And the person that plays H, I really liked. That was really, really good. And definitely the guy from X-Men played a good Wade. He was very good in the role, and like, I found it really interesting, and he had a lot more like time actually, because like most of the time in the book you don't get much of Wade as an actual human. It's all about being in the game, so to have a bit more of the outside was pretty cool. The book ended sort of weird to me, like when it, like the end was just like, what? Like, what just happened kind of feel to it. Like, oh my god, I'm just so mad that everything was so different. If you're going to adapt a book into a movie, don't change the entire plot and the idea of the story and all the reasons why people love a book and hate a book. By changing it, you ruin everything. Just because the characters all have the same name and the personalities, it doesn't mean you haven't just ruined everything. And I don't know how other people are going to feel about this movie. I'd give it a solid like 5 out of 10 because visually it was really good. It's just, theoretically, the book was so much better and the movie was shit in that circumstance. So that is my opinion on that. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and having like 2 reviews in one, which I have not done before. I should really do more like book to movie adaptation reviews, but I just haven't on my channel like at all. But anyway, thanks for watching this video guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye!